Hi everyone. In this lesson, I propose we add logging to our Prisma so we can see what queries we send to PostgreSQL and how long they take. It's very useful information for us. Here we create the Prisma client like this, and actually, it has many settings that can be extended. Let's do that, but we won't do it within the ktx.ts file on the backend so that it remains lean. We'll create a separate file specifically for Prisma, prisma.ts, and its content will be like this. Let's apply it first. So, it's just a function create Prisma, client that creates this very client. And here we need to pass this client further into the context. All right, we've applied it. Now let's go through the file itself. Here we declare the Prisma client. We create the same class instance, but here we have some settings. We specify what exactly we need to log. Thanks to this, we have the opportunity to specify for this client what to do when a query occurs, or when some informational event happens in Prisma, for example, something related to connection. All right. When a query occurs, we send info with the tag Prisma low to our logger. I have the Prisma low tag, and there will also be a Prisma high tag. Low is something very low level. High is something more high level. When we look at these logs, the difference will become clear. Here, if this is triggered, it means there was already a successful result. We output the query itself here, its duration. It's already passed within the event, and also the transparency of parameters. And, moreover, parameters there can be very sensitive and important, so we pass them locally as is. But if it's not local, we simply display some asterisks. For now, like this. Well, if it's some information, we just output this information. That's it. So these are basic low-level things. And then there's another syntax when we extend the Prisma client. That is, if here we track some events, here we can extend the client. And we say that for the query of all models and all their operations, the following, again middleware, needs to be inserted. It takes information about the model, like user, idea-like, operations, whatever they may be. But in this case, the one called within this middleware, and the arguments with which it was called. And query is a function. The function that is just like what was in TRPC, middleware, it was called next, and in Prisma, it will be called query. And here, a very similar meaning. We capture the start date, then store the result of executing the original query, calculate the duration, and output the information known to us. In case of error, it's the same. We measure how much time has passed and output. Well, not a success message, but an error. Here, again, is our data, which we know. Let's see how this will be displayed in our logs. For example, we logged into our front end, went to a certain idea, liked it, and then disliked it. Let's see what we have here. Here, we already have the known log trpc query success. So, get idea. It's because refetch idea happened. Before that, there was Prisma high. Okay, successful request, model idea. Find unique. This is what preceded it. That is, in the end result, we had a successful request on the get idea query. This is in trpc. While it hasn't finished yet, what happened? We had a request to the idea model. You can spy on it in this endpoint. We had get idea. And here we made a request through Prisma to our Postgres. Here's the information about it. Idea model, great. Operation, find unique. Everything matches. Here, where, what we passed here. And here we see these arguments. All these queries that we passed here. Here's how long it lasted. At the same time, we can look at this query in its original form, meaning what actually went into Postgres. Here, we already see the Prisma low query. Yes, now we see such an original. Select. This is literally the code you can insert into Postgres and execute it there. All. In fact, you can study what it transformed into, how queries are generated using Prisma and end up in Postgres, and with which, again, parameters. Well, the parameters here always come as an array, and they are supplied here. The first goes because it's $1, the second here, and the third there. All right. Here, accordingly, we also see the Prisma low query. It's tied to our user's request because it was an authorization request. It seems it was needed for the like. That's it. You can sit here and figure it out, and it turns out that we have now output logs, including from our Prisma. But what's not great here now? Before, we had no logs at all, and now we have too many, and it's hard to navigate. So, in the next lesson, we will work on log filtering and keep only those that we really need. Sometimes we will need some low-level ones, but in these situations, we will just enable them in one line. And when they're no longer needed, after debugging, we will disable them. All right, thank you all. Prisma is now also logged. We can move forward. See you soon.